The Battle of Khaybar was fought in a city named as Khaybar, an oasis which is located in present-day Saudi Arabia. The Khaybar region is situated about 150 kilometers north of Medina, whereas Medina is approximately 450 kilometers from Mecca. The battle was fought between Muslims led by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Jews of Khaybar. Dear viewers, now we will show you the location where Battle of Khaybar was fought. Geography and landmarks of Khaybar. The oasis was divided into three regions: Al-Nataah, Al-Shikk, and Al-Katiba. At the time of the battle, Khaybar was a fortified Jewish settlement inhabited by several Jewish tribes such as Banu Nadir, Banu Qurayza, Banu Qaynuqa. The city was surrounded by palm groves, cultivated fields, and natural fortifications such as cliffs and rocky hills. Now, we will explain the background behind the Battle of Khaybar. The Jewish tribes in Khaybar were known for their wealth, agricultural resources, and fortifications. They had control over the oasis and its fertile lands, making them economically significant in the region. The Jews of Khaybar had previously entered into alliances with other Arab tribes against the Muslims during the Battle of the Trench. Refusal to recognize prophethood of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and their attempts to undermine the Muslim community, further contributed to the build-up of tension between the two groups. As the Muslim community grew stronger and sought to secure its borders and protect its interests, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, decided to confront the Jewish tribes of Khaybar. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah also gave Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the assurance of not being attacked in the rear by the Meccans during the expedition. Now we will explain how Muslims attacked the forts occupied by the Jews. Oasis of Khaybar, where Battle of Khaybar was fought, was divided into three districts called as Al-Nataah, Al-Shikk, and Al-Katiba. Muslims decided to stay at a place called Al-Raji. From here on, they decided to attack all forts located in the district Al-Nataah. The people of Al-Nataah were the most violent of the Jews. Forts which Muslims attacked one by one in Al-Nataah district are Fort Name, Fort Al-Sab bin Mu'ad, and Fort Al-Zubair. The first fort which Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, began with was Fort Name. Muslims used to attack the fort in the day and return to Al-Raji in the evening. This continued for 7 days. Muslims were able to capture mangonel and several weapons. Muslims were extremely hungry. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prayed for them and said, "O God, open for them the greatest fort containing more food." Next, Muslims attacked Fort Al-Sab bin Mu'ad. Muslims were able to take over food, fat, cattle and utensils. The Jews of the name fort and those from Fort Al-Sab bin Mu'ad were transferred to a fort named Al-Zubair Fort. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Muslims marched to them. They besieged them and imprisoned them in their fort, which was inaccessible. When Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, conquered all the forts in the Al-Nataah district, he commanded the troops to move from their station in Al-Raji to Al-Manzilo. From here on they decided to attack the forts in the district Al-Shikk. Forts which Muslims attacked one by one in Al-Shikk district are Fort Ubay and Fort Al-Nazir. The first fort they attacked was the Fort Ubay. Prophet, peace be upon him, stood before a Fort Ubay's entrance called Sumran. He fought a severe battle against the people of the fort. They found in it furniture, property, cattle and food. Next, Muslims attacked fort named as Al-Nazir Fort. They were the strongest people of Al-Shikk who fought. They aimed at the Muslims with arrows and stones. When Muslims were unable to breach the defense, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ordered that the mangonel which was found from Fort Name to be put together, aiming at the fortress of Al-Nazir. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, looked at the Fort Al-Nazir and said, This is the last fortress of Khaybar in which there will be fighting. Jews fled from district Al-Nataah and district Al-Shikk to another district called as Al-Katiba. In Al-Katiba district, there were following forts located such as Al-Wati Fort, Al-Sulalim Fort, Ibn Abi al-Haqq Fort, and Al-Qamus Fort. Muslims attacked Al-Wati Fort, Al-Sulalim Fort and Ibn Abi al-Haqq Fort. In these forts, Jews had fortified themselves thoroughly. These forts were strong defensive positions where the Jews refused to come out and engage in open battle with the Muslim forces. The Messenger of God decided to erect the mangonel, when he saw that those who locked themselves in would not come out to challenge them. When they were convinced of the destruction, they decided to surrender. After this, there remained the last and the heavily guarded fort called Al-Qamus Fort, the siege of which lasted between 13 and 19 days. Several attempts by Muslims to capture this fort failed. One night Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, proclaimed, "By God, tomorrow I shall give the flag to a man who loves God and his messenger, whom God and his messenger love. Allah will bestow victory upon him." Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave the flag to Ali ibn Abi Talib. Hazrat Ali came one-on-one with Marhab, who was a renowned warrior from the Quraysh tribe in Mecca, and was chosen as one of the champions to fight against the Muslims in the battle. After a fierce duel, Ali managed to strike Marhab with a fatal blow that killed him. Marhab's defeat had a significant impact on the morale of the Quraysh army, as he was considered one of their most formidable champions. After Muslims captured Fort Qamus, Battle of Khaybar ended. At the end, Muslims were able to capture all the forts of Jews. Next to Al-Qamus Fort, there is a place called as Qasr-e-Marhab, where it is believed that Hazrat Ali killed Marhab. Following the victory, an agreement known as the Treaty of Khaybar was established between the Muslims and the Jewish inhabitants. Its main points are: the Jewish tribes would be allowed to remain in Khaybar. They would be granted protection and allowed to practice their religion in exchange for paying a tribute or tax called jizya. The Muslims would have control over the land and resources of Khaybar. The Jews would not be forcibly converted to Islam, but they were prohibited from aiding any enemy of the Muslims. The Treaty of Khaybar allowed for a relatively peaceful coexistence between the Muslim and Jewish communities in the region. If you liked the video, please press like button and subscribe to our channel. See you in next video. Allah Hafiz.